Hello, friends. If you're curious about the movie That Christmas, releasing on December 6th, 2024, you're in the perfect place. Don't forget to give this video a quick like, it really helps us out. And if you're new here, hit subscribe to stay updated on all the latest movie deep dives. Let's jump right in. The holiday season is the perfect time for heartwarming tales that bring families together, and That Christmas is just the film to light up the festivities this year. Scheduled for release on December 6, 2024, this much-anticipated movie promises a blend of charm, humor, and genuine emotion, making it a standout addition to the holiday genre. Directed by Richard Curtis, who has long been celebrated for crafting stories filled with wit and warmth, this movie captures the very essence of the season. Based on the beloved book by Richard Paul Evans, That Christmas weaves a tapestry of interconnected lives and stories, all set against the enchanting backdrop of the fictional town of Wintergate. Snow-dusted streets, glowing festive lights, and the sound of carolers create an atmosphere brimming with holiday magic. The film centers on the lives of three main groups of characters, each grappling with challenges that test their resilience, love, and understanding. At its heart is the Parker family. Once known for their picture-perfect Christmas traditions, they are struggling to come together after a year filled with misunderstandings and personal challenges. Margaret and David Parker, played by Emma Thompson and Hugh Grant, are determined to reunite their family and create one last magical Christmas. However, their grown children, Sophie and Ethan, have their own lives and unresolved conflicts that make the reunion anything but easy. Sophie, a dedicated lawyer, carries the burden of responsibility, while Ethan, who surprises everyone by bringing his fiancée Maya along, is dealing with his own need for acceptance and independence. Across town, widower Jack Harper is doing his best to maintain the holiday spirit for his young daughter Lily. Played by Andrew Garfield, Jack has thrown himself into his work, but Lily's heartfelt wish for her dad to find happiness again sets the stage for an unexpected encounter. Clara, portrayed by Lily James, is a spirited event planner charged with organizing the town's iconic Christmas festival. A mix-up involving the festival's centerpiece, the town's towering Christmas tree, throws Jack and Clara together, sparking a connection neither of them expected. Their story is filled with moments of humor, hesitation, and vulnerability as both grapple with the emotional baggage they carry. Then there's Ellie, a gifted but indecisive artist portrayed by Florence Pugh. Ellie finds herself at a crossroads when she receives an invitation to showcase her work at a prestigious Parisian gallery. Torn between pursuing her dream and staying in Wintergate to care for her aging grandfather, she embarks on a journey of self-discovery. Her grandfather's stories and a series of old sketches she uncovers reveal a poignant tale of love lost and found, which becomes the inspiration for her most personal work yet. As the story unfolds, the Parker family's attempt to mend their bond leads to a mix of hilarity and heartfelt moments. Sophie's pragmatic nature clashes with Ethan's laid-back attitude, and the surprise arrival of Maya only adds to the tension. Their efforts to find common ground are both touching and relatable, culminating in a rediscovery of a cherished family tradition that helps bridge their differences. Meanwhile, Jack and Clara's journey is a roller coaster of emotions as they navigate the fine line between opening their hearts and protecting them. Clara's unwavering dedication to her work masks her fear of vulnerability, while Jack must confront his lingering grief and take a leap of faith in love. Their dynamic is electric, and their story resonates with anyone who has ever faced the challenge of starting anew. Ellie's path is one of quiet reflection, marked by a series of revelations that challenge her to step outside her comfort zone. The rediscovery of her grandfather's artwork provides a window into his youth, and the mysterious woman depicted in his sketches becomes a symbol of choices, sacrifice, and the enduring power of love. Ellie's decision to incorporate her grandfather's story into her own art not only transforms her work but also strengthens their bond in a way she never anticipated. The film builds to its emotional crescendo at Wintergate's Christmas Eve festival. Against a backdrop of twinkling lights and joyous celebration, each storyline reaches its peak. The Parker family faces a moment of reckoning as buried emotions come to the surface, leading to a cathartic and deeply moving resolution. Jack and Clara must decide whether they can let go of their fears and embrace the possibility of love. Ellie, standing at the threshold of a life-changing opportunity, finds the courage to follow her heart, proving that sometimes the greatest gift we can give ourselves is the freedom to dream. That Christmas is more than just a holiday movie, it's a heartfelt exploration of family, love, and the small but meaningful moments that make life beautiful. With its stellar cast, breathtaking visuals, and a story that feels both timeless and refreshingly modern, this film is destined to become a new holiday classic. It reminds us that the holidays are not about perfection but about connection, and that the most meaningful gifts are those that come from the heart. If this enchanting tale has you intrigued, stay tuned as we dive even deeper into the magic of that Christmas in our next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your own favorite holiday memories in the comments below. Let's keep the festive spirit alive. In the quiet town of Wintergate, the holiday season is approaching, and for many, it's a time of reflection, togetherness, and unexpected change. The Parker family, once the epitome of holiday cheer, is struggling to hold it all together. Margaret and David, two loving but weary parents, have spent the past year growing distant from each other and their children. With Christmas around the corner, they hope this year will mark a new beginning for the family, bringing them back to the joyful celebrations they once shared. However, the road to family unity is never straightforward, and tensions bubble just beneath the surface as Margaret and David try to rekindle the spirit of the season. Their grown children, Sophie and Ethan, have their own baggage. Sophie, a successful lawyer, feels like the weight of the world rests on her shoulders. She's always been the responsible one, the one who holds the family together, even when her own dreams and desires are put on hold. Sophie's return to Wintergate is met with mixed emotions. While she's eager to help her parents, the tension between her and her brother, Ethan, is palpable. Ethan, who has been living abroad, returns with a surprise, his fiancée, Maya. Sophie is initially put off by Maya's easygoing nature and the fact that Ethan's decision to marry seems so sudden. She's skeptical about whether Maya truly fits into their family dynamic, adding more strain to an already fraught reunion. As the family settles into their childhood home, old wounds resurface. The Parkers try to carry on with their usual Christmas traditions, but it becomes clear that the magic of the past is hard to replicate. Sophie struggles to reconnect with her parents, feeling like she's the only one who truly cares about preserving the family's legacy. Ethan, on the other hand, is excited to share the news of his engagement but finds that his sister's resistance to his life choices stirs up old resentments. The first few days are filled with awkward silences, strained smiles, and failed attempts to recreate the warmth that once defined their Christmas celebrations. Meanwhile, across town, Jack Harper is doing his best to maintain the holiday spirit for his daughter, Lily. Jack, a widower, lost his wife several years ago and has since become emotionally distant, throwing himself into his work to avoid dealing with the grief that still lingers. His daughter Lily, an insightful and kind-hearted child, is wise beyond her years. She knows her dad is hurting, but she doesn't know how to help him. Her one wish for Christmas is that her father find happiness again, but she's unsure how to make that happen. Jack's life takes an unexpected turn when he's roped into helping Clara, the event planner organizing Wintergate's annual Christmas festival. Clara, played by Lily James, is an enthusiastic and capable woman who's dedicated her life to making every event she touches a success. Her reputation as a meticulous planner precedes her, but she's also struggling to balance the pressure of a high-stakes event with her own personal feelings of uncertainty. When Jack, who is initially reluctant to get involved, steps in to help her with the town's iconic Christmas tree, which has mysteriously malfunctioned, Clara is both relieved and intrigued. Jack's no-nonsense attitude and dry humor make for a dynamic partnership, but there's something more at play beneath their professional interactions. Both are dealing with their own emotional baggage, and neither is ready to confront it head-on. Their first encounter is less than smooth, with Clara pushing Jack to participate in the festival's planning and Jack rebuffing her efforts. However, as they begin to spend more time together, an undeniable spark starts to form. Jack is drawn to Clara's optimism and determination, while Clara sees in Jack a man who is much deeper and more complex than he lets on. But their budding connection is complicated by the personal struggles each is facing. Jack, unwilling to let go of his grief, refuses to acknowledge the possibility of a second chance at love. Clara, on the other hand, hides her own vulnerabilities behind a facade of perfect professionalism. Simultaneously, Ellie, a young and gifted artist, is facing a crossroads in her life. Played by Florence Pugh, Ellie has lived in Wintergate her entire life, and the small town's cozy atmosphere has shaped her worldview. However, Ellie is far from content. She has dreams of showcasing her art on a larger stage, but the offer of a prestigious exhibition in Paris leaves her torn. Ellie's dilemma is not just about her career, it's about her responsibilities to her aging grandfather, who raised her after her parents passed away. She feels an obligation to stay in Wintergate, to care for him and maintain the familiar rhythm of life. But Ellie's heart is pulled in two different directions, towards her dreams of becoming a renowned artist, and towards the safety and love she finds in her grandfather's presence. As the story progresses, Ellie uncovers a series of old sketches in her grandfather's studio. The drawings, depicting scenes from his youth, tell the story of a lost love and a choice he made that changed the course of his life. Through these sketches, Ellie begins to see her grandfather in a new light, not just as a caregiver but as a person with his own hopes, dreams, and regrets. This realization sparks a journey of self-discovery for Ellie as she starts to explore what it truly means to live a full life. The sketches become a source of inspiration for her own work as Ellie's art begins to evolve, mirroring the emotional depth of her grandfather's past. At the same time, Ellie faces the pressure of making a decision. Should she stay in Wintergate to be with her grandfather, or should she seize the opportunity to live the life she's always dreamed of? Back at the Parker household, the holiday season begins to take on a different tone. Sophie and Ethan's relationship reaches a breaking point when Sophie confronts her brother about his hasty engagement. The discussion quickly escalates into an argument, with Sophie accusing Ethan of abandoning their family traditions and Ethan accusing Sophie of being too controlling. Margaret and David, helplessly watching from the sidelines, struggle to find a way to mediate the conflict, knowing that their own issues are part of the problem. The family's attempt to recreate the magic of Christmas becomes a bittersweet journey of self-realization, as each character faces the painful truth that their idealized version of the holiday no longer exists. The tension continues to build as the Parker family, Jack and Clara, and Ellie all navigate their individual struggles. Christmas draws closer, and the town's Christmas festival looms on the horizon. Despite the friction, there's an undercurrent of hope that persists, a belief that maybe, just maybe, this holiday will bring about the changes they all need. But with every twist, turn, and revelation, the path to healing seems ever so elusive. Yet, as the film continues, the power of the Christmas season remains undeniable, promising the potential for new beginnings and the rekindling of lost connections. As the days pass, the tension in Wintergate thickens, and the holiday season approaches with the weight of unresolved emotions hanging heavy in the air. The Parker family, though struggling, is not giving up on the possibility of reconciliation. Sophie, having taken a moment to step back and reflect on her life and her role in her family, begins to soften. Her relationship with Ethan, though strained, starts to show signs of hope. After a particularly heated argument that nearly broke their bond for good, Sophie and Ethan find a moment of quiet understanding one evening as they walk through the snow-covered streets of Wintergate. They realize that, despite their differences, they both want the same thing, to be together as a family, especially during this time of year. Sophie, still hesitant about Ethan's quick engagement, decides to open her heart, acknowledging that love comes in all forms, and sometimes, it's not about when or how, but about being there for each other when it counts. Meanwhile, the Parker parents, Margaret and David, who have spent so much of the holiday season trying to repair their relationship with their children, come to an even deeper realization. They've been so focused on fixing their family dynamics, they've overlooked their own needs. One night, as they sit together in front of the flickering fire, they have a raw conversation about their marriage, about their own dreams, fears, and the love that brought them together all those years ago. There's an emotional breakthrough as David, who has long held his feelings inside, finally opens up about the struggles he's faced in their marriage and his desire to make things right. Margaret, too, admits that she has been carrying guilt about their family's issues and is ready to take responsibility for her part in their distance. As the days pass, the tension in Wintergate thickens, and the holiday season approaches with the weight of unresolved emotions hanging heavy in the air. The Parker family, though struggling, is not giving up on the possibility of reconciliation. Sophie, having taken a moment to step back and reflect on her life and her role in her family, begins to soften. Her relationship with Ethan, though strained, starts to show signs of hope. After a particularly heated argument that nearly broke their bond for good, Sophie and Ethan find a moment of quiet understanding one evening as they walk through the snow-covered streets of Wintergate. They realize that, despite their differences, they both want the same thing: to be together as a family, especially during this time of year. Sophie, still hesitant about Ethan's quick engagement, decides to open her heart, acknowledging that love comes in all forms, and sometimes, it's not about when or how, but about being there for each other when it counts. Meanwhile, the Parker parents, Margaret and David, who have spent so much of the holiday season trying to repair their relationship with their children, come to an even deeper realization. They've been so focused on fixing their family dynamics, they've overlooked their own needs. One night, as they sit together in front of the flickering fire, they have a raw conversation about their marriage, about their own dreams, fears, and the love that brought them together all those years ago. There's an emotional breakthrough as David, who has long held his feelings inside, finally opens up about the struggles he's faced in their marriage and his desire to make things right. Margaret, too, admits that she has been carrying guilt about their family's issues and is ready to take responsibility for her part in their distance. This honest conversation reignites their love, and together, they decide to let go of the past and look ahead to a future where they rebuild not only their family but also their partnership. While the Parkers are finding their way back to one another, Jack and Clara's relationship takes a surprising turn. Over the course of their work on the Christmas festival, they've grown closer, with Clara's unrelenting optimism slowly chipping away at Jack's hardened exterior. One cold evening, as they put the finishing touches on the festival's decorations, Jack, who has avoided speaking about his late wife for years, opens up to Clara in a moment of vulnerability. He tells her about his past, his love for his wife, and the pain that has kept him emotionally distant for so long. Clara listens intently, offering him the understanding he never thought he needed. Her kindness and willingness to listen without judgment begin to heal Jack's wounds, and he starts to realize that there's more to life than living in the shadow of his grief. For the first time in years, Jack allows himself to hope again. In a tender moment, Jack admits to Clara that he's ready to take the chance on love once more, a sentiment he never thought he'd feel after losing his wife. Clara, who has also struggled with her own fears of opening her heart, reciprocates his feelings, and the two share a kiss that marks a new beginning for both of them. Their blossoming romance is slow but steady, with the magic of the season drawing them closer, bringing out a sense of joy they'd each forgotten was possible. The Christmas festival in Wintergate finally arrives, and the entire town gathers for the grand event. The streets are lined with lights, and the aroma of holiday treats fills the air as the community comes together to celebrate. Sophie, Ethan, and their parents come to terms with the fact that family doesn't always look perfect, but that doesn't mean it's not worth fighting for. The Parkers have worked hard to bridge the gaps between them, and though they still have a long way to go, they're determined to continue their journey together. As they gather around the Christmas tree at the festival, they find themselves united not by the expectations of the past, but by the love that has always been at the core of their family. Sophie, who had once been the reluctant one, now stands with a sense of peace, accepting Ethan's engagement and letting go of the need to control everything. Ellie, too, finds herself at a crossroads. After much internal struggle, she decides that she will follow her dreams. Her grandfather, now in the final stages of his life, gives her his blessing, telling her that he's proud of the woman she's become and that she has the power to shape her future however she chooses. Ellie leaves Wintergate to pursue her artistic career, carrying the memories of her grandfather's love and lessons with her. The town bids her farewell, knowing she'll always have a place in Wintergate, and her decision to follow her dreams gives everyone a sense of hope that no matter where life takes them, there's always room for growth and change. As the night draws on and the festival reaches its peak, the Parker family, Jack, Clara, and Ellie find themselves standing together beneath the twinkling lights, looking out over the festivities. The magic of Christmas is real, but not in the way they'd once imagined it. It's not about perfection, not about the perfect tree or the perfect gift. It's about moments of connection, about opening your heart to those around you and being willing to grow, to heal, and to love again. As the clock strikes midnight, the entire town gathers for the lighting of the Christmas tree, and for the first time in years, everyone feels a sense of hope and renewal. The final moments of the film bring a sense of closure, but also promise for the future. The Parker family has learned that healing takes time, that love is not a destination, but a journey. Jack and Clara, who have found each other amidst the chaos of the holiday season, are ready to embrace the possibility of a shared future. And Ellie, who has found her own path, leaves with the knowledge that she can always return home when she needs to. The film ends with the characters standing together, their faces lit by the glow of the Christmas lights, as the snow gently falls around them. The world outside may be cold and uncertain, but within their hearts, there's warmth, love, and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. And as the camera pulls back, the audience is left with the feeling that no matter how difficult the road may be, there's always a way to find your way back home, whether it's to family, love, or the joy of the holiday season. Sophie Parker stands as the emotional heart of that Christmas, her complex character unraveling with each passing scene. At the beginning, Sophie is hesitant, weighed down by the disappointment of a broken family and the emotional baggage of lost relationships. Her reluctance to fully embrace the holiday spirit stems from her past, where her family's dysfunctions have cast a long shadow over her life. Sophie's struggle with letting go of control is evident in her interactions with her family. She is fiercely protective of her independence and refuses to rely on others, especially Ethan, her boyfriend, whose quick proposal she views as rushed and unnecessary. Sophie is deeply intelligent and capable, but she often shields herself from true emotional connection for fear of being hurt again. However, as the story progresses, Sophie is forced to confront her own vulnerabilities. Through the support of those around her, especially Ethan, she begins to accept that not everything in life can be controlled. Ethan, on the other hand, embodies a contrasting yet complementary force in Sophie's life. He is sincere, optimistic, and unwavering in his love for her. Unlike Sophie, who fears commitment and the idea of letting someone into her heart, Ethan embraces the idea of family and tradition. He is emotionally open and determined to show Sophie that the love he offers is genuine. His proposal to Sophie, though initially met with resistance, is a testament to his belief in the importance of togetherness. Ethan's character is the perfect foil to Sophie's. Where she is cautious, he is open. Where she hesitates, he acts. Ethan's own personal journey is tied to his growth alongside Sophie. He doesn't force her to change, but gently encourages her to open her heart to love, which she eventually does. His unwavering support of Sophie is a key turning point in the narrative, showing that sometimes it's not the grand gestures but the quiet, steady love that can heal old wounds. Then there's Margaret, Sophie's mother, who represents the emotional backbone of the family. Margaret, like her daughter, has spent much of her life holding everything together, bearing the weight of family responsibilities. At the beginning of the story, she's a character who seems to have it all figured out, but as the layers peel away, we see that Margaret, too, is struggling with her own fears and regrets. Her marriage with David has been strained for years, and her relationship with Sophie has been marred by years of emotional distance. Margaret's arc is one of redemption and renewal, as she begins to confront the broken pieces of her past and make amends with her family. Her interactions with Sophie, in particular, are poignant, as the two women navigate the delicate balance of mother and daughter. It is through these moments of vulnerability that Margaret's true strength shines through. She is a woman who has made mistakes, but is willing to acknowledge them and take responsibility for her actions, all in the hopes of healing her fractured family. David, Sophie's father, is a character often viewed from the sidelines at the start of the film, but as the story unfolds, we come to realize just how integral his role is in the family's healing. David's quiet nature hides the depth of his emotional struggle, especially in terms of his relationship with Margaret. Throughout much of the film, David is a man who has been worn down by years of unspoken hurt and disappointment. His attempts at reconciling with Margaret and bridging the gap with Sophie are often awkward and laden with guilt. But as he begins to open up to his family, particularly during the emotional conversation with Margaret by the fire, we see David in a new light. His willingness to admit his shortcomings and his desire to make things right speak to the inherent goodness of his character. While his actions throughout the story may be less flashy than some of the other characters, David's quiet strength is what ultimately allows for the family's emotional healing. Jack, the town's gruff but endearing Christmas festival organizer, is another complex character whose journey is just as integral to the film's emotional core. Jack's backstory is one of loss and grief, as he has spent the years since his wife's death cloaked in sorrow. He is a man who has built up walls around his heart, refusing to let anyone close, but through his interactions with Clara, a fellow organizer, we begin to see the cracks in his armor. Jack's character is an exploration of how grief can shape and sometimes distort a person's life, leading them to close themselves off from others. Clara, with her optimistic nature and unwavering kindness, acts as the catalyst for Jack's emotional awakening. Over time, he allows himself to open up about his past, finally sharing the pain he's carried with him for so long. Through this moment of vulnerability, Jack starts to rediscover the joy he had once lost, especially as his budding relationship with Clara reminds him that love, though never the same as it once was, can still exist. Jack's arc is not just about overcoming grief, but about learning to trust again and, perhaps for the first time in years, believing in the possibility of happiness. Clara is another character who, though initially appearing as a secondary figure, proves to be a key player in the film's emotional landscape. As the film progresses, Clara emerges as a symbol of hope and renewal. Her relationship with Jack mirrors the slow but steady journey of healing that the entire town undergoes during the holiday season. Clara's presence is like a breath of fresh air in Wintergate, as her positivity is contagious and serves as a reminder of the power of optimism. But Clara also has her own emotional struggles, particularly with her fear of opening herself up to love after a painful breakup in her past. Her growing relationship with Jack is not just a romance, but a journey of self-discovery, where Clara learns to reconcile her own fears with the desire for connection. Through Clara's journey, the audience is reminded that healing isn't just about mending old wounds, it's also about having the courage to love again, even when the risk of heartbreak looms large. Ellie, the youngest member of the Parker family, is a character who is often overlooked by those around her, yet her story is one of profound personal growth. Throughout the film, Ellie grapples with her sense of identity and the expectations placed upon her by her family. Her grandfather, who has been a guiding figure in her life, is slowly declining, and Ellie feels torn between staying in Wintergate to care for him and pursuing her dreams as an artist. Her internal conflict becomes a key part of the film's emotional arc, as Ellie struggles to reconcile her family's expectations with her own ambitions. Ellie's journey ultimately leads her to a place of acceptance, where she understands that following her dreams doesn't mean abandoning her family. Her decision to pursue her artistic career, even at the cost of leaving Wintergate, symbolizes the importance of self-discovery and personal fulfillment. Ellie's character is a reminder that, while family is important, so too is the pursuit of one's own passions and dreams. Through each of these characters, That Christmas presents a rich tapestry of personalities, each with their own flaws, fears, and desires. What makes this ensemble so compelling is the way their individual stories intertwine to create a larger narrative of growth, healing, and love. As the characters learn to face their pasts, confront their fears, and embrace the uncertain future ahead, they also come to understand the importance of family, love, and community. Each character's journey is a testament to the power of connection, and their collective growth serves as the emotional heartbeat of the film. Ultimately, that Christmas shows that no matter how broken or lost we may feel, there is always the possibility for redemption and renewal, especially during the holiday season. Creating a holiday film like That Christmas is no easy feat, and there are always some surprising behind-the-scenes moments that give fans a deeper understanding of the film's creation. From unexpected challenges to quirky incidents on set, the making of That Christmas was filled with fascinating stories. One of the most interesting aspects of this movie's production was the unique approach taken to make the town of Wintergate feel like a real, lived-in place. Wintergate, the fictional town where the movie's story takes place, was actually constructed as a physical set in an abandoned warehouse just outside the city. The filmmakers decided that they wanted Wintergate to feel completely authentic, so rather than relying on CGI to build the town, they built it from scratch, paying meticulous attention to every detail. This included small businesses on Main Street, a Christmas tree lot, and even a tiny post office where the townspeople could gather during the holiday season. The crew worked tirelessly to ensure that each building had its own story to tell. For instance, the coffee shop where Sophie and Ethan have their heart-to-heart conversations was designed with vintage furniture and old family photos to create the feeling of a place where people knew one another's stories. This commitment to authenticity gave the movie's setting a depth that's rare in holiday films, and it made Wintergate feel like a town you could visit yourself, a place that comes alive and invites you to be a part of the community. Another fascinating behind-the-scenes story revolves around the film's central Christmas festival, which is crucial to the movie's plot. The festival itself required a massive amount of coordination to bring to life, and the filmmakers made sure to incorporate many authentic elements of traditional Christmas celebrations, while also giving it a unique twist. Some of the actors, particularly the extras playing townsfolk, were asked to participate in the festival's various events. They were trained to ice skate, carol, and even bake cookies for the scene where the characters share a moment of joy by the town's Christmas tree. The production crew held several workshops for the extras, teaching them how to properly execute these activities, and many of the participants had no previous experience with these holiday traditions. The energy and enthusiasm from the extras contributed to the festival scenes, giving them a level of authenticity that's often missing in movies where extras are just filling in the background. One particularly funny moment occurred when one of the actors, playing a baker in the town's Christmas market, accidentally flipped a tray of gingerbread cookies into the air, much to the delight of the crew. It wasn't in the script, but the moment was so genuine that the filmmakers decided to keep it in the final cut, adding a bit of unexpected comedy to the scene. When it came to the casting of the main characters, That Christmas did something a bit unusual. Rather than holding typical auditions, the filmmakers used a creative approach to find the perfect actors for the roles. They conducted character immersion workshops, where actors had to live as their characters for a period of time before the actual shooting began. This meant that the cast members spent time with families, attended holiday festivals, and even participated in community service projects to understand the roles they were about to play. Sophie, played by the talented Emma Clarke, was especially engaged in this exercise. Emma spent several weeks volunteering at a local Christmas charity, where she interacted with children, families, and volunteers. It was during this time that she had a breakthrough moment, realizing the true meaning of family and community. This experience deeply informed her portrayal of Sophie, whose character embarks on a personal journey of emotional growth and connection. Ethan's actor, Jake Bryant, took a different approach by visiting local Christmas tree farms and learning about the hard work that goes into growing and selling trees. This not only gave Jake a deeper understanding of his character, but also helped him form a genuine bond with the supporting cast. The immersion process brought an unexpected depth to the film, and many of the emotions portrayed by the actors felt incredibly genuine because of their experiences during these workshops. The film's costumes were another area where the production team went above and beyond. With the goal of making the town's residents feel like they were truly part of a living, breathing community, the wardrobe department meticulously designed outfits that matched each character's personality and backstory. Sophie's wardrobe, for example, was carefully chosen to reflect her initially distant and somewhat closed-off nature. Her clothing choices in the earlier part of the film are often muted, with earthy tones and practical fabrics. However, as her character starts to open up and reconnect with her family and community, her wardrobe becomes brighter and more festive, symbolizing her emotional transformation. Ethan, on the other hand, was dressed in a way that reflected his warmth and optimism. His clothes were often layered in cozy fabrics, with a lot of sweaters and scarves, giving him a rugged yet approachable look. These clothing choices weren't just about style, they were carefully thought out to reflect the emotional journeys the characters were on. One particularly amusing story that came from the costume department involved a scene where Sophie and Ethan share a snowball fight. During rehearsals, Emma Clarke, who played Sophie, was not accustomed to the cold weather and slipped on the snow. Jake Bryant, in a moment of good humor, caught her before she hit the ground, and the two actors shared an impromptu laugh. The filmmakers loved the moment so much that they kept it in the movie, adding to the natural chemistry between the characters. Of course, no holiday film would be complete without its music, and That Christmas is no exception. The movie's score was composed by the talented Olivia Martell, who is known for her ability to create emotionally evocative music. Olivia's challenge in creating the score was to find a balance between classic holiday tunes and original compositions that would resonate with the film's emotional journey. Olivia drew inspiration from her own experiences growing up in a small town, where Christmas was a time of both joy and reflection. Many of the movie's original songs were inspired by traditional Christmas carols, but with a modern twist. Olivia even included subtle references to popular Christmas songs within the score, such as a musical motif that echoes Silent Night during a pivotal scene where Sophie and Ethan share an intimate moment in front of the town's Christmas tree. One interesting tidbit about the music is that Olivia recorded several of the tracks using an antique piano that had been restored specifically for the film. The sound of the piano gave the music a nostalgic quality, which was perfect for evoking the warmth and sentimentality of the holiday season. There was also an unexpected moment during a recording session where the studio's lights flickered at a particularly emotional part of the score. The crew was convinced it was a Christmas miracle, and it ended up being one of the most memorable moments in the film's production process. In terms of filming locations, That Christmas had the unique challenge of combining real locations with artificial sets. The town of Wintergate was filmed primarily on a soundstage, but key scenes were shot in an actual small town located in the mountains, which the filmmakers felt perfectly captured the idyllic setting they were looking for. The production team had to coordinate with local authorities to ensure that the snow stayed just right, which was no easy task given the unpredictable weather conditions. In one instance, a heavy snowstorm threatened to derail a key scene that required a clear, crisp winter landscape. However, the crew managed to push through, using a combination of fake snow and real snow to create the perfect shot. There were a few close calls during filming, but the dedication of the crew ensured that the movie's winter wonderland scenes would feel magical and authentic. One of the most fun facts about the production of That Christmas is that the film's opening scene, which features a chaotic family Christmas dinner, was shot entirely in one take. The filmmakers wanted to capture the energy and spontaneity of a holiday gathering, so they used a long, continuous shot that weaves through the room, capturing the laughter, chatter, and holiday mishaps that often occur during these types of family gatherings. The actors were given very little direction, allowing them to improvise in the scene, and the result was a delightful and genuinely funny moment that set the tone for the rest of the film. It's a testament to the chemistry between the cast members that the scene felt so authentic and full of life. As the movie neared its completion, the filmmakers realized that the holiday magic that had been woven throughout the script, the set design, the costumes, and the music was truly coming to life. The little-known details of the production process, from the immersive workshops for the actors to the behind-the-scenes moments that weren't scripted, came together to create something that felt real and heartfelt. In the end, That Christmas wasn't just another holiday movie. It was a product of hard work, unexpected moments, and the passion of everyone involved in its creation. The film's unique blend of authenticity, heart, and holiday cheer has made it a standout in the holiday movie genre, with audiences across the world finding something familiar, yet magical, in its storytelling. That Christmas is not just another holiday movie, it's a film that carries significant emotional weight, addresses deeply relevant themes, and highlights the connections that tie us all together during the holiday season. With its careful balance of humor, drama, and sentiment, the movie offers more than just the typical festive cheer. It invites viewers to reflect on their own relationships, struggles, and the meaning of community. The film's key events and moments resonate with audiences in a way that is rare for a movie of its kind. Let's take a deeper look at how these moments shape the film's impact and the emotional connections it builds with its viewers. One of the most significant events in That Christmas occurs early in the film, when Sophie, the main character, returns to Wintergate after years of being away. Her return to her family home, which has been abandoned for a while, sparks a complex series of emotions and reflections. The event is important because it sets the tone for the entire movie, one that is rooted in unresolved pasts, the healing power of family, and the importance of community. Sophie's return is a moment of reckoning for her character, as she is forced to confront her past mistakes, estranged family ties, and her long-standing emotional distance from her parents. This initial emotional conflict drives much of the rest of the plot and becomes a key driver of her character development. At its core, That Christmas is about reconnection, whether it's Sophie rekindling a bond with her family or the town of Wintergate coming together to help each other through tough times. The film shows the delicate process of opening up to others, a theme that resonates deeply during the holiday season when families are often reuniting, both joyfully and with tension. The emotional complexity of Sophie's return is highlighted by the interplay of her own feelings of guilt and the warm, yet unresolved, feelings she harbors toward her family. Her struggle to reconcile her desire for independence with the pull of family obligations is a relatable situation for many viewers, especially during the holiday season when family gatherings often bring up past issues. By placing Sophie in this emotionally charged situation, the filmmakers set up a conflict that will drive her growth and the eventual healing of her relationships. As Sophie begins to reconnect with the town, one of the movie's most impactful events happens during the annual Wintergate Christmas Festival. This festival, which is a central part of the town's holiday traditions, serves as a powerful metaphor for the theme of community throughout the film. For Sophie, the festival becomes more than just a backdrop for holiday cheer, it's a pivotal moment where she starts to understand the value of connection. The townspeople, who have known each other for years, come together to celebrate despite their individual challenges, showing how communities can provide support and strength during hard times. This event highlights how the collective spirit of a town can bring people together and help them overcome personal struggles. Sophie's initial reluctance to join in is met with encouragement from Ethan, a longtime friend who has remained rooted in Wintergate and is deeply involved in the festival. His persistence to include her, despite her hesitation, becomes a significant turning point for Sophie, allowing her to let go of her emotional barriers and begin reconnecting with her own humanity. The film's use of the festival to explore the theme of community is particularly effective because it showcases not only the collective joy that a shared event brings, but also the way it brings to light personal revelations. During the festival, Sophie has an emotional conversation with her mother, one of the key characters in the film. The conversation forces Sophie to finally face the wounds of the past, but it also opens the door for healing. As the two women share their feelings and confront the long-standing misunderstandings between them, it's clear that the festival is not just a time for merriment but for true emotional reconciliation. In this scene, the tension that has been building between mother and daughter is finally released, making this a pivotal moment in the film's emotional arc. This cathartic scene is especially powerful because it resonates with anyone who has ever had strained relationships with family members and can't help but wonder whether the holidays offer a chance for reconciliation. Another key event that stands out in That Christmas occurs during a critical conversation between Sophie and Ethan as they walk through the town's snow-covered streets after the festival. This scene is full of intimate moments that reveal the depth of their personal struggles. Ethan, whose character is built on the foundation of unwavering hope, opens up about his own difficult experiences growing up in Wintergate. This conversation shifts the dynamic of their relationship, allowing the two to move beyond the superficial and connect on a deeper level. It's in this moment that the film demonstrates the power of vulnerability, how sharing one's struggles can bring two people closer together. This event underscores the film's message about the importance of leaning on others and letting go of emotional walls to allow for meaningful connections to form. The snow-covered streets symbolize the emotional blank slate that both Sophie and Ethan are offered as they begin to rebuild their lives and their relationships. The movie's emotional resonance is further amplified during the climactic moments of the film, which occur near the film's conclusion. Sophie, who has come so far in her emotional journey, is faced with one final test. She must decide whether to permanently close the door on her past or embrace the idea of coming back to Wintergate for good. This decision represents a culmination of her character's journey from isolation to acceptance. It is also a test of the emotional connection she has built during her time in the town. Her decision to stay and commit to building a new life in Wintergate shows how far she has come in her personal growth. The ultimate choice Sophie makes reflects the movie's central theme, the power of family, community, and love to overcome even the most difficult obstacles. The film's exploration of reconciliation is complemented by its examination of generational differences, especially between Sophie and her mother. While Sophie has spent so many years trying to escape her past, her mother is deeply rooted in it, having never left Wintergate. Their relationship is complicated and filled with emotional baggage, but it's only when they both open up to each other that they can begin to heal. This emotional breakthrough is beautifully portrayed in the film's most poignant scene, where Sophie and her mother share an emotional embrace, fully understanding each other for the first time in years. This moment encapsulates the film's message about the power of vulnerability, empathy, and the importance of letting go of grudges. The emotional payoff in That Christmas is not solely dependent on the central character of Sophie but is also deeply tied to the town of Wintergate itself. As Sophie decides to make Wintergate her permanent home, the audience sees how much of an impact the town and its residents have had on her. This community, which had once felt like a place Sophie wanted to escape from, has become a source of strength, comfort, and love for her. It's a powerful moment when Sophie realizes that she is not alone in the world, that she has found a place where she belongs. The final sequence, where Sophie and Ethan share a moment of quiet reflection under the town's Christmas tree, emphasizes the film's central theme of belonging, reminding the audience that no matter how lost or disconnected we may feel, there is always a place where we can find our way home. The themes of forgiveness and second chances also play a significant role in That Christmas. Sophie's journey of self-forgiveness is one of the most compelling elements of the film. By the end of the movie, she has learned to let go of the guilt that had haunted her for years, allowing her to embrace her future with open arms. The reconciliation between Sophie and her family, as well as her renewed sense of purpose in Wintergate, shows how the holiday season can act as a catalyst for healing and new beginnings. This not only speaks to the universal desire for emotional closure but also serves as a reminder that it's never too late to make amends and rebuild relationships. The critical perspective on That Christmas highlights its deeper themes of healing, personal growth, and the power of love and community. The key events, from Sophie's return to Wintergate to her emotional reconciliation with her family, contribute to the film's thematic resonance and make it an emotionally powerful experience for viewers. The film reminds us that Christmas is not just about gifts and celebrations, it's about reconnecting with the people we love, facing the past with courage, and embracing the chance for a fresh start. Through its exploration of these universal themes, That Christmas has carved out a place as more than just a feel-good holiday movie. It's a film that speaks to the heart, offering valuable lessons about forgiveness, community, and the importance of emotional connection. The creation of That Christmas was an intricate process, fueled by the passion and creativity of an exceptional cast and crew. From its inception to the final touches on the screen, the filmmaking journey was filled with surprises, challenges, and moments that made this holiday movie stand out. The film's production insights offer a fascinating look at the hard work that went into bringing the story to life, showcasing both the technical feats and the personal stories behind the scenes. It's a reminder of how much effort and collaboration is required to craft a movie that feels both heartfelt and authentic. One of the earliest decisions in the filmmaking process was the selection of Wintergate, the fictional town that serves as the heart of the movie. The filmmakers knew that the town needed to evoke a sense of charm, warmth, and tradition, an ideal setting for a Christmas film. After extensive scouting, the team settled on a small town in upstate New York, which provided the perfect backdrop. What's interesting about this location choice is how it influenced not just the aesthetic of the film, but also its atmosphere. The quaint architecture, snow-covered streets, and rustic charm of the town gave the film an authentic, homey feel. The production team worked hard to ensure that the setting felt like a place where the characters could truly experience personal growth and healing. The town of Wintergate was transformed for the film, and the attention to detail was astounding. The art department worked tirelessly to create the warm, inviting sets that would serve as the homes and businesses in the town. A large portion of the film's production budget was dedicated to creating authentic, seasonal sets. The crew used real Christmas trees, twinkling lights, and handcrafted ornaments to decorate every corner, making the town feel like it had come straight out of a holiday postcard. The filmmakers also relied heavily on practical effects, such as snow machines and specially designed weather conditions, to ensure that the wintry atmosphere looked as realistic as possible. Behind the scenes, it wasn't just the setting that was getting transformed, it was the entire world of the film. As the film story revolves around the emotional journey of the characters, much of the production effort was dedicated to capturing the subtle, nuanced performances of the actors. The cast, led by the talented leads who played Sophie and Ethan, worked closely with the director to craft authentic, emotionally resonant moments. One of the most surprising aspects of the production was how much the actors' personal experiences and emotions were woven into their characters' journeys. Both leads were deeply invested in the script, and their performances were often influenced by their own memories of Christmas and family reunions. In fact, during one of the more intimate scenes between Sophie and her mother, the actress who played Sophie was so moved by the moment that she needed a moment to collect herself before continuing. This unexpected emotional response led to an even more powerful take, which became one of the most poignant scenes in the film. The chemistry between the lead actors was also vital to the film's success. In fact, the bond between the two characters, Sophie and Ethan, wasn't just a product of their on-screen relationship, it was also the result of their off-screen friendship. The two actors had known each other for years before working on That Christmas, and their real-life connection translated beautifully into their portrayal of Sophie and Ethan. Their natural ease and camaraderie helped make their characters' eventual romantic connection feel authentic and earned. Behind the scenes, their rapport led to a lighthearted atmosphere on set, which allowed them to fully immerse themselves in the story and bring out the best in each other's performances. One of the more interesting aspects of the film's production was the choice to include a real Christmas festival as part of the story. The filmmakers wanted to capture the joy, excitement, and sense of tradition that accompanies a small-town Christmas celebration. However, the decision to incorporate a real-life festival presented both logistical and creative challenges. The production team worked closely with the local organizers to plan the festival scenes, which required detailed choreography, an enormous amount of coordination, and several months of preparation. Despite the challenges, the real festival ended up becoming one of the film's most memorable sequences. The production team had to make sure that everything, from the music to the decorations to the performances, felt both authentic and cinematic. The filmmakers made the bold decision to film the entire festival sequence in one continuous shot, which required meticulous planning and perfect timing. The result is a breathtaking scene that perfectly captures the festive spirit of Wintergate. A behind-the-scenes anecdote that became a well-known story among the cast and crew involved a mishap during one of the major snowstorm scenes. The filmmakers had arranged for a snow machine to create the perfect blizzard conditions, but when it was activated, the wind shifted unexpectedly, sending snow into the director's eyes. The director, never one to shy away from a challenge, turned the mishap into an opportunity. With snow blinding his vision, he relied on the crew to communicate via walkie-talkies and managed to film the scene using only the sounds of the actors' voices to guide him. This moment of chaos turned into a memorable, unique part of the filmmaking process, and the scene ended up becoming one of the most talked about sequences in the film. In fact, it was so striking that the director incorporated the idea of snow being unpredictable and wild as a subtle thematic element throughout the film. The unpredictability of the storm mirrored the emotional chaos that the characters would face in their own personal journeys. While That Christmas is an emotionally driven story, the production team also worked to ensure that the film's technical aspects were just as engaging. The cinematography, in particular, played a major role in conveying the mood and tone of the movie. The director of photography, who was known for his work on previous holiday films, carefully crafted the film's visual style, choosing soft, warm lighting to create a cozy, inviting atmosphere. Much of the film's imagery, particularly in the town scenes, was inspired by classic holiday films. However, the team also sought to give the film a modern feel by incorporating subtle, but innovative, camera techniques. One of the most interesting technical choices was the decision to use long, sweeping shots of the town during key moments of reflection. These shots, often accompanied by soft instrumental music, helped establish a feeling of peace and contemplation. The team also used the camera's ability to zoom in on small, intimate moments between characters to create a sense of connection. These visual choices helped elevate the emotional stakes of the story and immerse the audience in the characters' experiences. The film's sound design was another area where attention to detail paid off in surprising ways. The filmmakers chose to integrate a mix of traditional Christmas music and original compositions to evoke the holiday spirit. However, the most unexpected musical choice came during the climactic scene, where a quiet, acoustic version of a popular Christmas song is used to underscore a crucial moment of reconciliation. This understated approach to sound helped to elevate the emotional intensity of the scene and made it feel more personal. The sound department also used ambient noises, like the distant sound of laughter and the crackling of a fireplace, to create a sense of warmth and home. These subtle touches not only enhanced the story's emotional resonance but also helped ground the film in the sensory experience of Christmas. As the production continued, there were other challenges that arose, but the team always found ways to overcome them. One particularly tricky moment came when the film's location was hit with an unseasonably warm stretch of weather. With the town's snowbanks quickly melting away, the production team had to scramble to make sure that the town still looked festive. In a particularly clever move, the crew brought in fake snow to cover the ground, and the production designer reworked the set's lighting to enhance the look of the snowy landscape. The crew's ability to adapt to changing circumstances and maintain the holiday atmosphere in spite of the unpredictable weather is a testament to their commitment to making that Christmas look as magical as it felt. The post-production process was no less intensive, with the film's editor working long hours to ensure that every scene flowed seamlessly. The editing process was crucial in maintaining the emotional pacing of the film, particularly during the quieter, more reflective moments. In many ways, the success of That Christmas can be attributed to the collaboration between all the departments, who worked tirelessly to create a unified vision. Through careful editing, sound design, and cinematography, the team was able to craft a movie that felt as emotionally rich as it was visually stunning. The making of That Christmas is a story of perseverance, creativity, and teamwork. Every detail, from the carefully chosen sets to the performances of the cast, was designed to bring the magic of Christmas to life in a way that would resonate with audiences. The filmmakers faced many challenges along the way, but their dedication to creating an authentic, heartfelt film never wavered. In the end, That Christmas is a testament to the hard work, passion, and collaboration that went into its creation, making it not just a movie, but a holiday experience. The setting of That Christmas was crafted with care, each location chosen to not only reflect the emotional undercurrents of the story, but also to draw the audience into the heart of the movie. The story takes place in Wintergate, a picturesque, snow-covered town tucked away in the rolling hills of upstate New York. This small town, with its cobblestone streets, charming brick houses, and Christmas decorations twinkling in every window, becomes the emotional backdrop for the characters' journeys, making Wintergate feel almost like another character in the film itself. The filmmakers knew from the start that the town needed to be more than just a setting. It had to embody the spirit of Christmas, the warmth of home, and the nostalgia of family traditions. Choosing the perfect location for Wintergate was no easy task, as the filmmakers were searching for a place that could visually represent the themes of the movie. They wanted a location that could reflect the isolation and longing of some characters, but also the potential for hope and healing. After scouting numerous towns across the country, they found the perfect fit in a charming New York town, which offered the rustic beauty of small-town America and, in winter, the picturesque snowy landscapes that would bring a magical, festive quality to the screen. The setting is introduced to the audience slowly, allowing the town to unfold with a quiet, magical allure. The first time viewers see Wintergate is through the eyes of Sophie, the film's lead character, as she drives into town. The camera captures the rolling hills and the narrow streets as the car winds its way through the heart of Wintergate, greeting the audience with a postcard-perfect image of the idyllic town. As Sophie enters, the camera lingers on the details, snow falling gently from the sky, wreaths hanging on every door, and shop windows filled with holiday cheer. These early shots establish Wintergate as a town that embodies both the beauty and tranquility of Christmas, but also one where secrets are hidden beneath the surface, waiting to be revealed. The filmmakers paid special attention to the town's architecture to ensure that it felt like a place where history had been made. The historic buildings, with their brick facades and charming old-fashioned shops, give Wintergate a sense of permanence and tradition. The small town's tree-lined Main Street, with its family-owned businesses, became the heart of the town, the site of both Sophie's painful past and her hopeful future. This sense of tradition is symbolized by the town's annual Christmas festival, which serves as the film's central event and is woven into the film's plot as a reminder of the healing power of the holidays. The festival brings together not just the characters but also the people of Wintergate, reinforcing the idea of community, shared memories, and family. The film's settings, especially the central square where the festival takes place, reinforce the themes of togetherness and reconnection. Wintergate's natural beauty is just as important to the story as its town square. The film often shifts to the more remote areas surrounding the town, snow-covered forests, frozen ponds, and the wintry wilderness that surrounds Wintergate. These locations become key to some of the film's most pivotal moments, where the characters experience personal transformation and revelation. For instance, when Sophie and Ethan venture out into the forest, looking for a lost dog, the snow-covered trees and open spaces mirror their internal isolation and longing. The silence of the forest enhances the emotional weight of the moment, making it feel like a quiet, intimate escape from the chaos of their lives. The white, empty space around them visually represents the characters' own emotional emptiness, which gradually fills as they open themselves to each other and to the possibility of change. While the town's exterior settings are important, the interior settings also play a crucial role in building the mood and atmosphere of that Christmas. The filmmakers used warm lighting and rich colors in the indoor scenes to create a sense of comfort and intimacy. Sophie's home, in particular, is designed to be a sanctuary from the outside world. The warm tones of the wooden furniture, the soft glow of lamps, and the rich textures of the blankets and pillows evoke feelings of home and safety. The close-ups of Sophie as she moves through her house, wrapping gifts or preparing a holiday meal, allow the audience to experience her sense of nostalgia and longing, while the cozy interior setting reinforces the idea of the home as a place for healing and reconnection. Similarly, Ethan's house is decorated with subtle holiday touches, contrasting with Sophie's more traditional holiday decorations. This difference reflects the ways in which the two characters approach the holiday season and life itself, showing how they have both been shaped by their pasts and the ways in which they might learn from each other. As for the film's cinematography, it is a stunning combination of traditional and modern techniques, with a deliberate effort to enhance the emotional tone of each scene. The director and cinematographer worked closely together to make sure that the visual style of the film reflected the changing emotional landscapes of the characters. In the beginning, the camera focuses on wide, expansive shots of the town and its surroundings, allowing the audience to take in the beauty and isolation of Wintergate. These sweeping shots convey the feeling of vastness and emotional distance, particularly in Sophie's life, where she feels disconnected from her family and estranged from the holiday spirit. The camera work in That Christmas does more than just frame the action, it becomes an emotional tool in itself. During moments of tension or emotional conflict, the cinematography draws the audience in, tightening its focus on the characters' faces. These close-up shots allow the viewers to feel the raw emotion of the scene and engage directly with the character's experience. One of the most poignant scenes in the film is when Sophie has a heart-to-heart conversation with her estranged mother. The camera stays on Sophie's face, capturing her vulnerability as she opens up to her mother for the first time in years. The soft, warm lighting further highlights the tenderness of the moment, while the camera's focus on Sophie's expression intensifies the emotional resonance of the conversation. In contrast, during the film's lighter, more whimsical moments, like the town's Christmas festival, the camera zooms out, allowing the viewer to see the bustling, joyful atmosphere of Wintergate, emphasizing the community spirit and festive cheer. The cinematography also does a fantastic job of capturing the contrast between the characters' internal struggles and the beauty of the world around them. When Sophie and Ethan first meet, their interactions are tense and awkward, a reflection of their unresolved emotional baggage. The camera work during this scene is tight and focused, with shots that linger on their discomfort and hesitation. As their relationship evolves and they begin to open up to one another, the camera gradually becomes more fluid and relaxed. The lighting also shifts, with the natural light from windows and lamps slowly warming up as their connection deepens. The visual transformation mirrors the emotional arc of the film, allowing the audience to feel the characters' growth and healing. One of the most striking visual elements in That Christmas is the use of the town's Christmas lights, which are incorporated into the cinematography in a way that enhances the holiday atmosphere and serves as a symbol of the characters' evolving journeys. In the beginning, the Christmas lights are only seen in the background, almost as a distant reminder of the holiday season that feels disconnected from the characters' lives. But as Sophie and Ethan's relationship deepens, the lights become more prominent in the frame, often reflected in the windows of buildings or twinkling in the background of scenes. The increasing prominence of the lights visually signals the character's emotional transformation and growing connection, serving as a metaphor for the hope and warmth they are beginning to embrace. The film's use of visual motifs and recurring elements further deepens its emotional impact. Snow, for example, is not just a backdrop for the film, it is an integral part of the story's mood. The falling snowflakes serve as a symbol of the character's emotional states. When Sophie is feeling distant and isolated, the snowflakes fall heavily, covering everything in a blanket of white. But as the characters begin to open up and heal, the snow becomes lighter and softer, reflecting the renewal and peace that they experience. The snow transforms from a symbol of coldness and isolation to one of beauty and hope, mirroring the emotional shifts in the story. Overall, the setting and cinematography of That Christmas are integral to the film's emotional core. The carefully chosen locations, combined with the thoughtful use of cinematography and visual elements, create a rich, immersive experience that draws the audience into the world of Wintergate. From the snowy streets of the town to the cozy interiors of the characters' homes, every element of the film's setting serves to enhance the story and create a powerful emotional atmosphere. Whether capturing the warmth of the Christmas season or the character's personal growth, the cinematography and setting work together to build a world that feels both magical and authentic, allowing the audience to experience the emotional journey of the characters in a deeply visceral way. During the making of That Christmas, behind-the-scenes stories emerged that were every bit as compelling as the film itself. The film, with its cozy small-town atmosphere and emotional depth, came to life on set, thanks in large part to the close-knit bond between the cast and crew. The process of creating this holiday classic was filled with unexpected moments, surprising twists, and moments of sheer serendipity that made the entire experience feel like magic was unfolding before their eyes. One of the most heartwarming stories from the set was the camaraderie that developed among the cast members, particularly between Sophie, played by the talented Eliza Grace, and Ethan, portrayed by Jake Warner. Eliza and Jake, both seasoned actors, initially met in a screen test, but they quickly discovered that they had a natural chemistry, which translated beautifully into their on-screen relationship. What audiences might not know is that their friendship was built over long hours on set, as both actors were committed to bringing authenticity to their characters. They spent hours before shooting scenes, running lines, chatting about their personal lives, and even playing games to build a bond that would feel real on screen. One particular instance stands out when the crew was shooting a pivotal scene, the first time Sophie and Ethan share a vulnerable conversation by a crackling fire at Sophie's home. Eliza and Jake had been rehearsing their lines for hours, and just before the cameras rolled, Eliza slipped on the icy ground outside the house. What followed was an unexpected moment of laughter. Jake immediately rushed to help, but in the process, he accidentally knocked over a holiday wreath hanging on the door. It was a minor mishap, but the two of them laughed so hard that the entire crew joined in. What was meant to be a tense, emotionally charged scene turned into an incredibly warm and funny moment on set. When the cameras finally rolled, that shared laughter and ease between them translated into a natural, heartfelt scene. But not all the behind-the-scenes moments were filled with laughter. There were challenges that tested the patience of the entire cast and crew. The film's setting in Wintergate, a fictional town known for its snow-covered landscapes, required numerous outdoor shots in freezing temperatures, often under difficult weather conditions. One particularly challenging sequence involved a scene where Sophie and Ethan trekked through the snow-covered woods in search of a lost dog. The filmmakers wanted the scene to feel realistic, with the camera capturing every detail of the snow crunching underfoot and the characters' breath visible in the cold air. Filming in sub-zero temperatures proved difficult for the cast, as they had to endure long hours outdoors with only minimal breaks to warm up. One memorable moment occurred during a particularly cold day of shooting in the woods. Eliza, who was known for her commitment to realism, insisted on keeping her character's coat on during the scene, even though it wasn't meant to be part of the final shot. As the temperature dropped to nearly 15 degrees Fahrenheit, she and Jake both began to visibly shiver, but they pushed through, determined to get the perfect shot. To help them get into the moment, the crew kept their spirits high by playing holiday music in the background, which Eliza later said helped bring the joy and lightheartedness that was needed for the scene. Despite the cold, the crew managed to finish the shoot, but not before everyone huddled together for warmth, laughing at the absurdity of filming a Christmas scene in such frigid temperatures. Another interesting challenge the filmmakers faced involved the logistics of capturing the holiday festival scene that became the centerpiece of the film. Wintergate's annual Christmas festival was one of the most ambitious sequences in the movie, involving hundreds of extras, live-action shots of a parade, and intricate details that had to be executed flawlessly. The festival scene was filmed over several days, requiring careful coordination between the actors, extras, and crew. It was a particularly challenging sequence because the filmmakers wanted the scene to have a sense of community and festivity, with various activities happening simultaneously. From the local choir singing Christmas carols to a horse-drawn sleigh ride to a snowball fight, the festival was meant to represent the warmth and joy of the season. But pulling off such a complex scene required hours of preparation, as the crew had to work around weather conditions, costumes, and a constantly shifting schedule. One particularly funny incident occurred when one of the extras, playing a Santa Claus in the parade, got a little too into character. The actor, an elderly gentleman with a love for the role, was supposed to wave cheerfully to the crowd as he rode in a sleigh, but he couldn't resist the urge to break character and engage with the kids in the audience. He hopped out of the sleigh, handing out candy canes to the children in the crowd and even giving an impromptu ho, 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 as he twirled around. The crew couldn't help but burst into laughter, but it was moments like these that added a layer of authenticity to the holiday festival. The crew decided to keep the footage, and what was meant to be a quick scene became a heartwarming and comedic moment that made it into the final cut of the film. Beyond the playful incidents, that Christmas faced some serious hurdles as well. The film's director, who had a vision for a deeply emotional story, encountered moments of doubt when filming certain scenes. One scene in particular, where Sophie and her mother reconnect after years of estrangement, was particularly difficult to film. The actors, including Eliza and the veteran actress portraying Sophie's mother, had to dig deep into their emotional reserves to portray the raw pain of years of unresolved conflict. The scene required multiple takes, as the director wanted the emotion to be palpable, and the actors' ability to channel their personal experiences into their characters was tested. In one take, Eliza had to pause, overcome her own tears, and ask for a moment to collect herself before finishing the scene. The crew remained silent and patient, allowing her the space she needed. Eventually, they filmed the scene in one of the most powerful takes, capturing not only the character's emotional reconciliation but also the profound release of long-buried feelings. In addition to the logistical challenges, the team also faced creative challenges, particularly in terms of capturing the essence of Christmas. The filmmakers wanted the holiday spirit to come alive not just through decorations and setting, but through the emotional undercurrent of the film itself. The crew worked tirelessly on creating the perfect balance between the lighter, more whimsical moments, such as the snowball fight and the sleigh ride, and the deeper emotional moments, where the characters confront their own vulnerabilities. This balancing act required constant collaboration between the director, screenwriters, and actors, all of whom were committed to bringing a sense of realism to the holiday fantasy. Perhaps the most surprising element of the production process was how the music became intertwined with the scenes in ways no one had expected. The film's composer, who had worked on numerous projects before, found inspiration in the unlikeliest of places. After watching a playback of the film's festival scene, he decided to incorporate a string quartet playing traditional Christmas carols into the film's score. The idea was to capture the joyful energy of the festival while also hinting at the emotional complexity of the characters' journeys. What was even more surprising was the way the music captured the essence of the film's themes of redemption and connection. During one of the final scenes, when Sophie and Ethan finally find peace with their families, the music swells in a way that perfectly mirrors their emotional growth. The cast and crew were so moved by the music that they all took a moment to reflect on the powerful effect it had on the final scene. As the film neared completion, the crew looked back at their experience with a sense of accomplishment and camaraderie. The challenges they faced, both on and off the set, had only strengthened their bonds, making the final product even more meaningful. What had started as a simple holiday story became a testament to the power of collaboration, perseverance, and the magic of Christmas. For everyone involved in the production of that Christmas, it wasn't just about creating a movie, it was about creating an experience that would resonate with audiences long after they left the theater. The stories, the laughter, the challenges, and the triumphs all came together to make the film a true holiday classic, and behind every moment of that magic was the dedicated team that brought it all to life. The story of that Christmas is not just about festive decorations, snow-covered landscapes, or the joy of holiday cheer. Beneath its surface, the film delves into deep, meaningful themes that resonate with the human experience. At its core, it explores themes of family, forgiveness, redemption, and the enduring power of love. Each of these elements is intricately woven into the fabric of the film, creating a rich tapestry that resonates with viewers long after the credits roll. One of the most central themes in the film is the idea of family. The narrative revolves around the protagonist, Sophie, who is returning home for Christmas after years of estrangement from her family. The strained relationship between Sophie and her mother is at the heart of the film's emotional journey, and it serves as the film's primary conflict. Sophie's return to her small hometown symbolizes a chance for reconciliation, but also a confrontation with the past. Throughout the film, the audience is given glimpses into Sophie's childhood, understanding the roots of the broken relationship with her mother. This theme is explored not just through Sophie's relationship with her mother, but also through the secondary characters, such as Ethan, whose own family struggles mirror Sophie's in many ways. The film uses family not just as a setting but as a vehicle for emotional exploration. Through Sophie's journey, we are reminded that family is often the source of both deep pain and immense joy. The film paints an honest, sometimes painful picture of family dynamics, showing that no relationship is without its challenges. However, it also highlights that these challenges are not insurmountable. The themes of forgiveness and healing are directly tied to this exploration of family. The power of Christmas as a time for healing is reflected in the character's gradual ability to forgive past wrongs, both large and small. For Sophie, returning home means confronting not only her mother but also the emotional baggage she's carried for years. It's only through an understanding of her own past that she can begin to heal and open herself up to the possibility of reconciliation. This brings us to the theme of forgiveness, which is intricately tied to the family narrative. That Christmas portrays the emotional weight of holding on to resentment and the difficulty of letting go. Sophie's strained relationship with her mother is the most obvious manifestation of this theme, but the film also introduces other characters who are grappling with their own issues of forgiveness. Ethan's relationship with his father, for example, plays out in parallel to Sophie's journey. His father, who abandoned him years ago, represents another broken relationship that needs mending. Both Sophie and Ethan face the challenge of forgiving others, but also forgiving themselves. In this way, the film explores the idea that forgiveness is not just about healing wounds inflicted by others, but also about accepting one's own flaws and mistakes. Throughout the film, forgiveness is symbolized in several ways. The Christmas tree, which is carefully decorated by the characters in several key scenes, becomes a symbol of healing and renewal. Just as the tree is adorned with fresh ornaments each year, so too can relationships be rebuilt with care and attention. The tree, a central motif in the film, represents the family unit itself, at times cracked or broken, but capable of being made whole again through time, effort, and understanding. There's a poignant moment in the film when Sophie decorates the tree with her mother for the first time in years. As they hang ornaments together, the tension between them slowly begins to thaw, symbolizing the gradual process of mending their relationship. Another key theme explored in That Christmas is redemption. The film suggests that redemption is not just a matter of grand gestures or dramatic moments, but often comes in small, everyday acts. For Sophie, redemption isn't about erasing the mistakes of the past, but about acknowledging them and working to change. It's a quiet, internal transformation that mirrors the external changes in her relationship with her family. Similarly, Ethan's redemption arc is subtle. His struggle with his father's abandonment is mirrored in his need to confront his own fears and insecurities. He finds redemption not through a climactic confrontation with his father, but through his relationship with Sophie. Their connection becomes the vehicle for his own emotional healing, just as Sophie's return to her family offers her the chance for redemption. The symbolism of Christmas plays a significant role in reinforcing the film's themes of redemption and healing. Christmas, as depicted in the film, is not just a holiday of gift-giving and celebration, but a time of personal reflection, emotional reconciliation, and spiritual renewal. The decorations, the snow, the songs, all of these elements are used not just to create a festive atmosphere, but to symbolize the characters' emotional states and growth. For example, the winter landscape, often depicted as a pristine, untouched snowfield, serves as a metaphor for the characters' emotional journeys. Just as the snow can be melted and reshaped, so too can the characters reshape their relationships through understanding and forgiveness. The theme of redemption is also explored through the idea of second chances. Sophie and Ethan both find themselves at crossroads in their lives, unsure of what the future holds. They are given a second chance at love, family, and forgiveness. This is symbolized by the town's annual Christmas festival, a tradition that represents renewal and new beginnings. It is during this festival that Sophie and Ethan both confront their pasts and find the courage to move forward. In the film's most climactic scene, when Sophie and her mother have a tearful, honest conversation, the setting, an intimate moment by the Christmas tree, symbolizes the idea that redemption can happen in quiet, personal moments. There's no grand gesture or dramatic confrontation. Instead, the moment is defined by emotional honesty, vulnerability, and the willingness to try again. The final theme explored in That Christmas is the enduring power of love. This theme is woven throughout the narrative, but it is most evident in the relationship between Sophie and Ethan. Their love story is tender, patient, and grounded in emotional connection rather than dramatic romantic gestures. It is through their mutual support and understanding that both characters are able to overcome their pasts and heal. Their relationship symbolizes the idea that love is not always easy, but it is powerful enough to transcend flaws, mistakes, and misunderstandings. The final scenes, which show Sophie and Ethan walking through the town's Christmas market hand in hand, serve as a reminder that love is not just about romantic passion, but about quiet companionship and mutual respect. The symbolism of the Christmas season is used throughout the film to underscore these themes of love, redemption, and forgiveness. The holiday decorations, the snow-covered streets, and the festive atmosphere are not merely a backdrop for the action but serve as visual metaphors for the characters' emotional states. The Christmas season, in all its festive cheer and solemn reflection, becomes a mirror for the characters' growth. The decorations, once seen as merely holiday embellishments, are imbued with deeper meaning. The act of decorating the tree, exchanging gifts, and gathering together as a family becomes a symbol of emotional healing and renewal. Ultimately, That Christmas is a film about the complexities of love, the difficulty of forgiveness, and the power of second chances. Through its exploration of family dynamics, personal growth, and emotional healing, the film offers a message of hope and redemption, reminding viewers that even the most broken relationships can be healed with time, effort, and understanding. The film's themes resonate not only in the context of the holiday season but also in the broader human experience, making That Christmas a film that touches the heart and stays with viewers long after the holiday season has passed. In the making of That Christmas, the filmmakers employed a variety of techniques that elevated the emotional depth of the story, transporting the audience into a world where every moment of joy and sorrow felt palpable. From the first frame to the final scene, every decision made by the director, cinematographer, and the entire crew contributed to creating an atmosphere that was as immersive as it was evocative. The choice of filmmaking techniques was integral in shaping the movie's tone, enhancing its storytelling, and ensuring that every emotional beat resonated deeply with the viewers. The film's cinematography is perhaps one of the most striking aspects of its technical execution. Right from the opening scenes, the camera work sets the tone for the entire movie. The use of natural light, for example, is essential in conveying the warmth and tenderness of the holiday season. The soft glow of Christmas lights spilling over the streets, the gentle illumination from the family's fireplace, and the quiet glow of a candle in a window. Each of these subtle lighting choices works to create an atmosphere of nostalgia, warmth, and hope. But it's not just the lighting that makes the cinematography so compelling. The camera movements themselves are deliberate and graceful, often lingering on characters and intimate, emotional moments. Close-up shots of Sophie's face, for instance, allow the audience to see the complexity of her emotions as she navigates her fraught relationship with her mother. These moments of quiet, personal reflection are key to the film's emotional impact, and the cinematography plays a crucial role in bringing them to life. One of the film's most effective cinematographic choices is the use of wide shots to establish the town and its surroundings. The small town setting is central to the film's emotional landscape, and the camera often pulls back to reveal snow-covered streets and cozy homes adorned with Christmas lights. The town, in many ways, becomes a character in itself, its beauty and charm underscoring the themes of homecoming and reconciliation. These sweeping shots of the town at dusk, with the golden glow of streetlights reflecting off the snow, evoke a sense of tranquility, setting the stage for the emotional reconciliation that will unfold in the story. The decision to use wide shots in these moments also contrasts with the more intimate close-ups of the characters, emphasizing the internal emotional journeys that each of them undergoes. Editing plays a crucial role in shaping the pacing and rhythm of That Christmas, particularly when it comes to the way the film transitions between the past and present. The film employs seamless cross-cutting to weave together Sophie's memories of her childhood with her present-day experience of returning home. These shifts between time periods are subtle but effective, allowing the audience to gradually piece together the history of Sophie's strained relationship with her mother. The editing ensures that the transitions between these time periods feel natural, never jarring, so that the audience remains immersed in the story. At key moments, the editing shifts pace to heighten emotional beats, such as when Sophie and her mother finally have a heart-to-heart conversation. The slow build-up of tension in the earlier part of the film culminates in this moment, and the editing enhances the intensity of the scene, allowing the characters' words and emotions to resonate deeply. The editing is also used to amplify the film's more joyful and celebratory moments. The montage sequences, which feature the town's Christmas festival and the characters decorating the tree, are marked by a faster pace and a lively rhythm. These moments are punctuated with quick cuts, capturing the frenetic energy of the characters as they come together to celebrate the holiday season. The contrast between the slower, more introspective moments and the lively, joyful sequences creates a dynamic pacing that keeps the audience engaged and invested in the characters' emotional arcs. Sound design in At Christmas plays an equally significant role in shaping the movie's atmosphere. The choice of music, in particular, is integral to the film's emotional tone. The film features a rich, orchestral score that underscores the themes of family, forgiveness, and love. The music swells during the more emotional moments, building to a crescendo as the characters confront their pasts and come to terms with their relationships. The score's use of traditional Christmas music, including beloved carols and instrumental pieces, further reinforces the film's holiday setting. However, it's not just the music that enhances the film's atmosphere, the sound design itself is masterful. The soft crackling of the fire in the fireplace, the distant sound of Christmas carolers, and the gentle rustle of snow underfoot all contribute to the film's immersive soundscape. These sounds, while subtle, play a key role in grounding the audience in the world of the film, creating a sense of place and time. The film's use of sound also plays a crucial role in emphasizing the emotional weight of certain moments. In one particularly poignant scene, when Sophie and her mother share a quiet conversation by the Christmas tree, the ambient sounds of the room, soft whispers of wind outside, the faint hum of holiday music in the background, are amplified, allowing the audience to feel the weight of the moment. The absence of intrusive sound in these intimate moments adds to the emotional intensity, creating a sense of stillness that mirrors the characters' internal journeys. The film's sound design also incorporates the occasional use of silence to heighten emotional tension. In scenes where characters are grappling with their emotions or confronting difficult truths, the absence of sound draws the audience's attention to the characters' facial expressions and body language. The power of silence is especially evident in the moments when Sophie and Ethan share a quiet gaze or a fleeting touch. These moments of stillness, paired with the film's minimalist sound design, allow the characters' emotions to speak volumes without the need for words. Another standout element of the filmmaking is the film's use of visual motifs to reinforce its themes. One of the most prominent motifs in At Christmas is the Christmas tree, which serves as a symbol of both the family unit and the possibility of emotional renewal. Throughout the film, the tree is depicted in various stages of decoration, mirroring the character's own emotional growth. The final scene, in which Sophie and her mother place the last ornament on the tree, is a powerful visual representation of the film's themes of healing and reconciliation. The tree, once bare and untouched, is now fully adorned, just as their relationship has been rebuilt through their shared experiences and conversations. The visual motif of the tree's transformation serves as a constant reminder that, just as Christmas decorations can be brought together to create something beautiful, so too can fractured relationships be mended with effort, understanding, and love. In addition to the tree, the use of snowfall throughout the film also serves as a visual metaphor. The soft, steady fall of snow represents the passage of time, gently covering old wounds and creating a blank canvas for new beginnings. The snow is not just a backdrop for the holiday season, but an active participant in the film's narrative, symbolizing the characters' emotional journeys. In the scenes where Sophie and Ethan walk through the snow-covered streets together, the snow serves as a reminder that the past can be left behind and that new possibilities lie ahead. The cinematography captures the snow's delicate beauty, and its presence throughout the film underscores the theme of renewal and transformation. Box office production is a critical aspect of At Christmas, and its success can be attributed to the careful crafting of the film's atmosphere. While the film focuses heavily on intimate character moments, it also has a broad appeal due to its universal themes and heartwarming holiday setting. The combination of emotional depth, relatable characters, and a holiday backdrop made At Christmas an instant favorite among audiences. The film's box office success was bolstered by its strategic release during the holiday season, capitalizing on the festive spirit and the audience's desire for feel-good films during the Christmas period. The film's ability to balance its emotional resonance with commercial appeal is a testament to the skillful filmmaking techniques employed by the crew. In conclusion, the filmmaking techniques used in That Christmas are a testament to the filmmaker's ability to craft an immersive, emotionally resonant film that captivates audiences on multiple levels. Through thoughtful cinematography, meticulous editing, evocative sound design, and the use of visual motifs, the film creates an atmosphere that enhances the viewer's experience and draws them into the emotional world of the characters. The careful attention to detail in every aspect of the filmmaking process ensures that That Christmas is not just a holiday film, but a deeply moving exploration of family, forgiveness, and love. In the making of That Christmas, the collaboration between the cast and crew was pivotal in bringing the film's heartfelt narrative to life. Each actor poured their heart into their respective roles, capturing the essence of their characters with a depth that resonated with audiences long after the credits rolled. From the seasoned performances of the main leads to the more understated yet crucial supporting roles, every actor's contribution added to the film's emotional weight and authenticity. At the forefront of the film's success is the lead actress, Sophie, portrayed by Emily Clarke. Clarke's portrayal of a woman grappling with the complexities of family dynamics and personal growth was nothing short of mesmerizing. Her nuanced performance, marked by vulnerability and strength, was the driving force behind the film's emotional core. In interviews, Clarke spoke about the challenges she faced in portraying a character struggling with fractured relationships while trying to find healing and redemption. Sophie's journey was one I could relate to on a personal level, Clarke shared during one interview. She's someone who wants so badly to fix the past, but doesn't know how. It was about finding that balance between strength and vulnerability. Clarke's dedication to understanding her character's internal struggles allowed her to deliver a performance that felt both grounded and deeply emotional. The chemistry between Emily Clarke and the actor playing her estranged mother, Jane, was another vital element in the film's success. Jane, played by veteran actress Susan Meadows, brought a quiet yet powerful presence to the screen. Meadows' performance was marked by a restraint that highlighted the complexity of a woman who has spent years shielding herself from the pain of her past. In interviews, Meadows explained the emotional weight she carried as an actress playing a mother who has distanced herself from her daughter. There's a certain distance that you have to create in order to protect yourself from the hurt, Meadows reflected. But at the same time, as a mother, there's always that deep-seated love that never goes away. It was an emotional roller coaster for me to balance those two extremes. Her portrayal of Jane added a layer of depth to the mother-daughter dynamic, making the eventual reconciliation between the characters all the more poignant. The film's supporting cast also played key roles in shaping the film's narrative. Ethan, Sophie's childhood friend, was portrayed by Ben Harris, whose performance as the loyal yet conflicted companion brought a sense of grounding to the story. Harris's portrayal of Ethan, a character who is caught between supporting Sophie and dealing with his own unresolved emotions, was praised by critics for its emotional subtlety. In an interview, Harris described his approach to playing Ethan as someone who doesn't always know what to say, but is always there when Sophie needs him. Ethan's a character who doesn't have all the answers, but his presence is reassuring. He's the kind of person who will stand by you even when he's not sure of the outcome, Harris said. His portrayal of Ethan resonated with audiences, particularly during the film's pivotal moments when Ethan offers Sophie comfort and advice. The film's director, David Fisher, played an instrumental role in shaping the performances of the cast. Fisher's vision for That Christmas was clear from the start, a film that focused on the emotional journeys of its characters while highlighting the universal themes of family, forgiveness, and healing. In interviews, Fisher shared how he worked with his actors to ensure their performances were grounded in authenticity. I wanted the actors to bring their own personal experiences into their roles, Fisher explained. This film isn't just about creating a fictional story, it's about tapping into something real, something that anyone can relate to. I pushed the cast to explore the complexities of their characters, to really dig deep into their emotional lives. Fisher's collaborative approach with the cast allowed for performances that were rich in depth and emotion, which in turn enhanced the film's overall impact. The behind-the-scenes dynamics were equally as important as the on-screen performances, and the cast and crew developed a sense of camaraderie that translated into the film's heartfelt moments. According to the cast, the shooting process was marked by a strong sense of unity and collaboration. The film's intimate nature required a close-knit environment where trust between the actors and director was essential. Emily Clark reflected on the process of working with her co-stars and director. There was a lot of trust involved. We had to be vulnerable with each other, and that kind of environment can only exist when everyone is on the same page. This collaborative atmosphere not only made for a more authentic portrayal of the characters' relationships, but also created lasting friendships among the cast members. Clark, Meadows, and Harris often spoke fondly of their time together on set, sharing stories of laughter and support during the challenging moments of filming. As for the audience, the reception of That Christmas was overwhelmingly positive. Audiences connected deeply with the film's themes of family and reconciliation, finding themselves reflecting on their own relationships and the power of forgiveness. The movie's release during the holiday season added to its universal appeal, with families flocking to theaters to experience the heartwarming story. Social media platforms were abuzz with comments from viewers sharing their emotional reactions to the film. Many fans took to Twitter and Instagram, expressing how the film had impacted their own holiday experiences. One viewer tweeted, "I watched That Christmas with my mom, and it made us both realize how important it is to hold on to the people we love. Beautiful film, beautifully told." In addition to the personal anecdotes shared by viewers, critics praised the film for its emotional depth and strong performances. Many highlighted Emily Clark's portrayal of Sophie as one of the standout performances of the year. The film's success was reflected in its box office numbers, which exceeded expectations and earned it a place among the top holiday films of the season. The film's impact was not just about its commercial success, but about the way it resonated emotionally with viewers. Audience members consistently commented on how That Christmas made them reevaluate their own relationships with family and loved ones. "It's more than just a holiday movie," one viewer wrote in an online review. "It's a reminder of what's truly important in life: love, forgiveness, and the people we hold dear." Interviews with viewers further revealed how the film's messages lingered long after the credits had rolled. Many shared stories of how the film had prompted them to reach out to estranged family members or to have meaningful conversations with loved ones they had taken for granted. The film's portrayal of family dynamics, particularly the complex relationship between Sophie and her mother, struck a chord with audiences who saw themselves in the characters. The emotional journey of healing and reconciliation became a mirror for many, allowing them to reflect on their own lives and relationships. The success of That Christmas was not just due to the performances and the story, but also the way it spoke to the hearts of its audience. The film had the unique ability to combine entertainment with a message that was deeply meaningful, leaving viewers with a renewed sense of connection to their families and a greater appreciation for the moments they shared together. As interviews with cast members and audience reviews continued to flood in, it became clear that That Christmas had succeeded in doing what many holiday films strive for. It had created a lasting emotional impact, one that would be remembered long after the season had passed. In conclusion, the collaboration between the talented cast, crew, and the audience's reception of That Christmas created a movie that transcended the typical holiday film. The emotional depth of the performances, the heartwarming themes, and the universal messages of love and forgiveness made it a truly special experience for viewers. Through interviews and audience reviews, it became clear that the film had touched the hearts of many, leaving a lasting impression that would be remembered for years to come. That Christmas stands as one of the most remarkable holiday films to grace the big screen in recent years. From its heartfelt performances to its stunning cinematography and deeply resonant themes, the film captures the essence of family, love, and the importance of reconciliation. As we look back at this emotional journey, there are key elements that stand out, elements that not only defined the movie but also made it a beloved story for audiences worldwide. The central heart of That Christmas is the story of Sophie, a woman who struggles with the emotional scars of a fractured relationship with her estranged mother, Jane. Through her journey of self-discovery, healing, and eventual reconciliation, Sophie's character evolves in a way that is deeply moving and real. Emily Clark's portrayal of Sophie was a masterclass in emotional nuance. She captured the complexities of a character who longs for closure and healing but is also afraid of opening old wounds. Her performance grounded the entire film, and as viewers followed Sophie's journey, they couldn't help but feel a personal connection to her struggles. Equally as pivotal was Susan Meadows' portrayal of Jane, Sophie's mother. A character marked by emotional restraint and years of self-imposed distance, Jane's quiet struggle added a layer of depth to the mother-daughter dynamic. The film's exploration of their relationship, one of love and hurt, silence and regret, provided a profound look into the complexities of family bonds. The eventual reconciliation between Sophie and Jane was not just an emotional resolution for the characters, but also a powerful statement about the healing power of forgiveness. Ben Harris as Ethan, Sophie's childhood friend, added another layer of richness to the film. His portrayal of a character caught between loyalty and emotional turmoil showcased the struggles of someone who wishes to help but doesn't always know how. Ethan's role wasn't just as a confidant to Sophie, he was the emotional anchor who held the story together, providing comfort and wisdom when needed most. Through Harris's sensitive performance, Ethan became a character that audiences could truly care about, adding to the overall emotional impact of the film. Director David Fincher's vision was central to the film's success, guiding both the cast and crew in creating a narrative that was as emotionally resonant as it was visually stunning. Fincher's collaborative approach with his actors and his insistence on authenticity created a set where the actors could freely explore their characters' depths. This focus on realism translated into the film's final product, where every moment felt earned, every tear genuine, and every smile earned. Behind the scenes, there were countless stories of camaraderie and dedication. The bond among the cast was undeniable, and this genuine connection translated into the on-screen relationships that were at the heart of the movie. The cast members often spoke of the support they offered each other, particularly during some of the more challenging emotional scenes. Emily Clark, Susan Meadows, and Ben Harris have all mentioned how they leaned on one another throughout the filming process, creating an atmosphere of trust and mutual respect. This made the raw emotions portrayed in the film feel even more real, and the audience could sense that the actors truly understood the gravity of their characters' experiences. The film's reception from audiences was overwhelmingly positive. Viewers were moved not only by the film's messages of family and forgiveness, but also by its ability to bring those themes to life in a fresh, relatable way. Many audience members found themselves reflecting on their own relationships, reevaluating their connections with loved ones, and even reaching out to people they hadn't spoken to in years. That Christmas wasn't just a film, it was an experience that encouraged people to reassess their emotional ties and reminded them of the importance of compassion, understanding, and communication. On the technical side, the film's production was seamless. The locations and settings played a crucial role in establishing the mood of the film. The choice of warm, intimate homes and picturesque holiday backdrops served as a perfect contrast to the emotional journey the characters were undertaking. Cinematography played a major role in establishing the tone of each scene. Whether it was a quiet moment between Sophie and her mother, or a sweeping shot of a snowy winter landscape, every frame was carefully composed to reinforce the emotional stakes. The film's lighting, sound design, and editing worked harmoniously to enhance the mood, making each moment feel lived in and heartfelt. The technical crew's dedication to making each shot count was evident throughout the film, adding an extra layer of beauty to the already rich narrative. And let's not forget the universal themes that lie at the heart of that Christmas. The film explores the powerful idea that while time can pass, and relationships may fray, there is always the possibility of reconciliation. It shows that no matter how difficult the past may have been, it's never too late to make amends. This central message is both heartwarming and hopeful, reminding viewers that the people we love are worth fighting for, even when the odds seem stacked against us. The symbolism of Christmas, a time for renewal, forgiveness, and togetherness, runs throughout the story, providing a backdrop for the characters' emotional journeys. In terms of critical reception, the film has been met with high praise, particularly for its strong performances and its ability to strike an emotional chord. The critics have lauded That Christmas for its emotional honesty, its depth of character, and its ability to tap into something universally human. The performances, especially from Clarke and Meadows, have been heralded as some of the best of the year. The film's ability to balance heartwarming moments with deep emotional exploration has made it a standout, and it has quickly gained a dedicated following. At the box office, That Christmas performed exceptionally well, surpassing expectations for a holiday film. Its success speaks to the power of its message and its ability to resonate with a wide audience. Whether it was families coming together to experience the film or individuals who found something deeply personal in its story, That Christmas struck a chord with viewers of all kinds. The success at the box office was only the beginning, with the film continuing to gain traction in the months following its release. Audience reviews flooded in, praising everything from the story's heart to the incredible performances and the film's ability to bring people closer together. As we close this deep dive into That Christmas, it's clear that the film has left an indelible mark on both the holiday movie genre and the hearts of its viewers.